Eastern on Game Show Network.
You're watching Game Show Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gary Moore.
Thank you. Hi. Hey, Bill Wendell. Nice to see you all. Welcome to the Tell the Truth, and I think you'll agree that it's always exciting to see new records established. And that's what we're going to see, you and I. We're going to see it on some of the most magnificent film of its kind that you've ever seen in your life. And we'll meet a young, well, let's save that for you. Now let's meet our pal. Alan Ludden. Peggy Pat. Bill Cullen. And Betty White. Now, panel and people.
Yes, panel and
not
people.
that panelists are not people, but panel and people.
Yeah.
Heed to your monitors, because you're going to see a brand new record established in the 880-yard run. And the track star in question is teenager Mary Decker of the United States, and that's Mary already out in front. Notice how she's 15 years old, not only a great athlete, but she's absolutely adorable with the pigtails flopping. And here she is early on in the race, and you think she can't possibly sustain such a pace. Notice how much shorter she is than the other contestants.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they're catching up to her. And you say, well, she made a good start, good try. No way she can make it the whole way. Now look at the tall girl in the yellow coming up on her, and she's going to run right past our little Mary.
Yeah,
At least so she thinks. But Mary decides to turn on the kick. She's coming into the last round now, the last lap. And is she going to be able to hold on to the lead? She kicks, and that lead is widening. And there she goes. The gap is getting bigger all the time. Mary Decker. Man, that's some exciting athletics thing, isn't it? And one thing better than seeing Mary Decker on film is seeing Mary Decker in person, and that's who we're going to meet. Here's Mary Decker. Hey, Mary. Congratulations, Mary.
Thank you.
Does that kind of turn you on to see the film yourself when you see it, even though you know how it's going to come out?
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
Yeah? Let me ask you the question. Now, this is the day we have, Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs. How do you think you would do against a boy of your age and your experience?
I think I do pretty well, but I don't want to win against boys.
But you have no lack of confidence, I gather, right?
Nope.
Mm-hmm. I gathered that from watching the film. You've brought somebody for us to meet. Would you tell us who it is?
It was my coach.
Well, he was your coach. Did he give you your style and your desire?
Well, I have my own style and own desire. He just coaches me, tells me what to do at workouts.
All right, I think that tells us a lot about you, Mary. A little later on, you're going to come out here and pick out the real coach for us, right?
Yeah.
All right, Mary, thanks. Congratulations again. She has her own style and her own desire, and that's what makes champions, I'll tell you. Small wonder. Now, let us meet Mary Decker's first coach.
Number one, what is your name, please?
My name is Don Danoon.
Number two,
My name is Don DeNoon.
Number 3.
My name is Don DeNoon.
And the panel's job is to ferret out the real Don DeNoon, and this is the way his story goes. I, Don DeNoon, am a track coach and an international race walker. Currently, I hold the world indoor mile walk record. Race walking requires the utmost precision and coordination. It is defined as forward progression, making contact with the ground and locking each leg within each stride. My coaching, however, is primarily confined to distance runners, not walkers. I have developed several cross-country champions and national record holders. My most glittering protege is Mary Decker, whom you just met. I first spotted her as an 11-year-old prospect. I recruited her for my track club. At 15 years of age and weighing only 93 pounds, she has developed into America's outstanding female middle-distance runner. It is Mary's distinction to have set world indoor records in 800 meters, as well as the 880 and 1,000-yard runs. Signed, Don DeNoon. So, to find out how you spot quality when it's first starting out and helping it diversion, hang around after a few commercials.
Everyone's singing about the Game Show Network.
I'm here with you, watching reality. I've got a secret, it's plain to see. I'm in love with Game Show Network TV. I'm a ghost man, my heart sings. I need to tell the truth, I just love to compete. The wheel of fortune is spinning for me. 'Cause you're right here on Game Show Network TV.
Many of my patients are concerned with their thinning hair. That's why I created Dr. Barrett's hair treatment for thinning hair. You will see the results in just 5 days. My treatment contains a scalp cleanser to remove sebaceous oils and pollutants that clog hair follicles, a volumizing shampoo to cleanse your hair of excess oils while leaving it in a balanced pH condition, and a hair thickener with special thickening enhancers that expand each hair strand for a fuller look. You will see the results in just 5 days.
Phone now. For only $19.95, you'll receive Dr. Barrett's hair treatment kit for thinning hair. It contains all the necessary elements for fuller-looking hair. First, Dr. Barrett's deep cleaning shampoo. Second, Dr. Barrett's scalp cleanser. And third, Dr. Barrett's extraordinary hair thickener. All for only $19.95. Guaranteed your money back. Now you can create a fuller-looking head of hair with Dr. Barrett's extraordinary hair treatment kit for thinning hair. Guaranteed to work.
You will see results in just 5 days.
The #1 ranked balanced fund over the past 15 years is CGM Mutual Fund, returning more than 752% over the past 15 years. Though the fund invests in both stocks and bonds, CGM Mutual Fund also outperformed the Lipper Balanced Fund Index and Lipper Growth Fund Index for that period. The fund has been managed continuously since 1981 by Ken Huebner. For a prospectus, call 1-800-CGM-INFO. CGM Mutual Fund, America's #1 balanced fund for 15-year performance.
Hi, I'm Linda Carter, and I'm here to tell you why ordering your contact lenses direct from Lens Express is
Such a great idea.
We're America's largest contact lens replacement service. Call now for a free catalog and save up to 50% by ordering direct from Lens Express.
and I get the exact lenses my doctor prescribed or my money back. Now that's
What I call service. I couldn't do without.
Lens Express.
Call this number now for a free Lens Express catalog.
Now, across the stage, we have 3 very clear-eyed chaps, all of whom claim to be Don DeNoon, international race walker, and the first coach of track star Mary Decker. And let's start the questioning with good old sport, Bill Crow.
Yeah, I find it very interesting. Dawn, number 3, Mary at 93 pounds, and is it 15 years of age now? How far is Mary from her peak as far as middle distance running? She is now a middle distance runner.
Right. It depends on if she stays with it for the proper amount of time. She probably will hit her peak around 25.
How many hours a day does she work?
2.
2 hours every day. Number 1, do you find it more difficult to get today's youngsters of that age to dedicate themselves and to do the work necessary to make them great champions?
No, I think there's a complete change in the youth of America today, and you can realize this with Mary Decker.
Number 2, until this time, or until a few years ago, we are rapidly coming up. The European countries, many of the European countries, beat us hands down always in European events. To what do you attribute the fact that our distance runners, particularly the women, are on the improvement?
Well, it's a progress of our age group program over the number of years. Let's say 4 or 5 years ago when we really got started with our distance running program, the kids are still with it now, and the background is there.
Number 3, do you...
Thank you, Bill. Let's go to Betty White, please.
You can take something for that.
Yes, I certainly can.
Number one, your answer intrigued me that a change in youth is apparent, particularly in Mary. In what way?
Well, particularly to sports, they're more involved, they're more conscientious, they want to do something and complete something with their lives.
I see. Number 3, what advice, how do you manage, what would you say as a coach to have her have that extra kick at the end of the race and still have a little reserve?
Don't ever give up.
Number 2, is that the advice you would coach her?
Well, it's putting the proper program together so that at the end of the race there's still something left.
Number 1 isn't...
And from Betty, we go down to Alan Ludden, please.
No, pardon me, Betty. Number 3, you're a race walker, right? Now, it seems to me that all three of you gentlemen are relatively short. How tall are you, number 3?
5'10".
Does a man's height have anything to do with his ability to walk fast?
A little, but not too much, really. It's a training. And
what does it mean, number 2? What does it mean when you say you lock each leg? You're locking each leg.
Well, each leg has to be straight within each stride, and that causes the hips to drop up and down. That's the reason it looks funny.
Is that, number 1, is that part, you can't walk unless you lock a leg?
That's for sure.
When I walk normally, do I lock a leg every time I walk?
It would be kind of funny if you did, but...
I'd like to see it sometime.
All right.
Thank you. Number 2, where do you coach?
Where do I coach?
Yeah.
In Orange County.
Well, like, is it a city program or a county program or a school program?
It's a track club, and the track club encompasses all the kids that are interested in a wide area.
Number 1, are you from Orange County, too?
Yes.
Oh, okay, then I don't have to ask you 3, because I know you are. Okay, number 3, are you heading Mary Decker toward the Olympics?
Oh, yes, definitely.
And do you think she can still run those 3 events that she set records in? Will she still be able to do that by the time the Olympics come around?
I sure hope so, sure.
Oh, well,
and the mile, too.
How could you tell she was really going to be so great when she was only 11?
Well, she was the leader in her class, and she eliminated everyone in the area, and just with the perseverance, the follow-through, it was there. The seed was there.
Oh, boy. Bells. Lots of bells. That means balancing time, friends, if you will. Mark down your preference, and you do it mentally. Is it number 1? Or do you prefer 2? Or are you quite certain that it is 3? In any event, we pay $50 to the team for each wrong vote. We pay them $500 if nobody comes up with the real fella. And Bill Cullen goes.
Well, that was my event in school.
What was?
That, walking.
Oh, was it?
Oh, yes. I never won, but I certainly went out every time they had a drive. Actually, number 2 seems to know everything that a coach would know. His ideas are good. And in dedication to the late, great Pavo Nurmi, I vote for number 2 there by mine.
To Pavo Nurmi, we have a 2. All right, and Betty.
Well, I don't think so, because 2 had a little trouble. He pronounced his name just a little bit differently, but I think with the proper coaching, in case I ever ran up against some boys, I vote for number 3.
All righty, so we got a 2 and a 3, and Alan Ludden coming out.
I really think all 3 of them are the guy. I really do. They're very good, but I think number 2 kind of persuaded me with the glibness of his answers.
Very well, and Peggy, there's something about you. You have that obstinate look.
No, just it's in honor of the late, great Glenn Cunningham. I vote for number 2.
He was all right.
Well, everybody
maybe not late.
in the middle with the exception of Betty White, who was on number 3, and let's see how you go out there at home. The votes are all in. To solve this dilemma for us, let's ask Mary Decker, come out here again, put her finger on her first coach, and surely she will recognize the man who had some part in shaping her destiny. It's number 2, and here you go. Stand up. Good job, Bunch. I'm sorry we bunched up 3 on the right guy. We tried to do better than that. Number 1, sir, what is your real name? What do you do?
My name is Bill Cadlick, and I'm a singer and guitar player here in New York at a restaurant called Calvados at 210 East 58th Street.
Hey, good luck to you. Number 3, sir, want to tell us about you?
Henry Briggs. I'm an independent television producer.
Henry will be good at running.
They're the best kind. Well, Don and Mary and Imposters, you've given us a very exciting few minutes, and thank you very much for being with us on To Tell the Truth. Take care. Don DeNoon, by the way, is, of course, an amateur athlete, and as such, he cannot receive any of the winnings that he won, so he would like to have it donated to the AAU. And we shall see that that is done. The AAU, of course, is Alan Alda's uncle, and I hope... All right? The story of Don DeNoon and Mary Decker is an inspirational one, and our next guest has a very inspiring story, too. It's an amazing example, absolutely amazing example of people being able to rise above personal tragedy. We'll be right back.
In America, a violent crime occurs every 17 seconds. In fact, 1 out of every 4 women will be sexually assaulted in her lifetime. Self-protection is no longer optional. What you just witnessed happened to me, only I wasn't carrying any self-protection. In broad daylight, I was stabbed and raped repeatedly in my own car. Today, I carry Safeguard pepper spray.
Unlike other pepper spray products, Safeguard is now available to the general public in the same strength used by the FBI and law enforcement agencies.
Only Safeguard Sleek keychain has the secret advantage of disguise, and only Safeguard is refillable. The self-defense keychain is now only $19.95. Order 3 or more and pay just $16.95 each. And as a special bonus, we'll include this 2.5-ounce self-defender model absolutely free.
These 2 Safeguard models offer you the ultimate in non-lethal protection. To order, call 1-800-578-7242.
America's most experienced home improvements business has a new name. Century 21 Home Improvements.
Now you can save money and time on new, energy-efficient, easy-to-clean windows from Century 21 Home Improvements.
Make no payments and pay no interest until January '97. See this ordinary window frame? It's screwed together, leaks like a sieve. Think of that as wasted heat, wasted air conditioning, wasted dollars.
Now, our fusion-welded frame. With these premium custom-fit windows, there are no leaks, so you'll save on energy bills.
And you'll save time, too, with windows that slide up with ease and tilt in for easy cleaning.
Our windows are custom-sized before they reach your home. That means installation is a snap in any season.
Century 21 Home Improvements will always be there for you. You can count on it.
Call now for a free in-home consultation. Then make no payments and pay no interest until January '97. Call 1-800-803-8844.
Now let's meet a man with a tragic tale to tell.
Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Martin Gray.
Number 2.
My name is Martin Gray.
Number 3.
My name is Martin Gray.
And quite simply, here is Martin Gray's story. He says, I, Martin Gray, lived through the horrors of the Warsaw Ghetto and Nazi concentration camps in World War II. The only member of my family still living was a grandmother in the United States. So at the end of the war, I came to America and began a new life. I was successful in business, but my new life really began for me when I met and married a wonderful woman, and we had a family. We bought a country home in the south of France and lived an idyllic life. One fatal day, tragedy struck. A sudden forest fire surrounded our home. My wife took the children in her car to take them to safety, but instead, she and all the children perished in an accident. I tell the story of my life in a book called For Those I Loved. Translated into 18 languages, it has been read by 20 million people, to whom it has given a message of courage and hope. All the royalties from this book go to a foundation which I established to combat the horrors of forest fires and to protect nature and human life. It is called the Dina Gray Foundation in honor of my wife. Signed, Martin Gray. And if you're looking for a little courage, it's right here. Would you begin the questioning, please, Betty?
I certainly would, and whoever it is, that's a lovely thing to do in her honor, believe me. Number 3, what does the Dina Gray Memorial consist of as far as what do you suggest about avoiding forest fires?
It is an idea of and instruction of fighting fires which were unknown so far.
Number 2, what's the greatest cause of forest fires in this country?
Negligence.
Negligence?
They throw cigarettes. They don't extinguish fires when they camp. And they don't realize that they kill the animals and the people caught in the fires.
Number 1, did you have any trouble leaving Warsaw at the end of World War II?
Well, I've told my story in a few hundred pages. I've been a smuggler in the Warsaw Ghetto, and I've been going out of the ghetto day after day, many times a day, so I had no trouble.
Ah, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Betty. We're going down to Alan.
Number 3, as I'm confused about the south of France. Was that just a vacation home or something? Is your residence here?
This was our steady home, which we found near Tanneron, which is about 12 kilometers away from Cannes.
Number 2, are you now an American citizen?
Yes, I am.
And you have a residence here now?
Residence right here.
Number 1, in your story that you tell, how important a part does religion play in your courage and your...
Well, I can't tell you that. Perhaps it would take too much time, but I just tell you that my book, despite the fact I don't speak about religion, nor God, my book has been chosen and elected by the religious groups of Europe as a religious book of the year 1973. Perhaps this will be sufficient.
Number 3.
And we go to Peggy Cash.
Thank you. Number 1, when you lived in the south of France, did you live up in the hills?
I lived about 50 minutes from Cannes, above Cannes, yes.
Above Cannes, okay. And number 1 also, you were able to get in and out of the Warsaw Ghetto, but you did spend the war in a concentration camp, right?
You asking me?
Yes.
Yes, I've spent in a few camps and also in an extermination camp called Treblinka.
Well, how did you manage to get out of that?
Well, I think this is the secret I'd like to divulge when you read my book, I suggest.
Oh, okay. All right.
You can also explain, excuse me, if
yes, I understand.
I know that you're rushing time and I must be short.
Yeah, right. Well, I'll get the book. I'll pinch it from Gary.
That's right. That's right. Oh, no, you don't have to pinch it. It's now on the market in the United States.
All right. They're always telling me not to pinch books. Now I've been caught. Number 3, do you live in the United States now, or do you still live in France?
No, I have my residence in France.
And number 2, oh.
And Bill Cullen, your last man up.
Number 3, the forest fire that eventually destroyed your family, did they ever find out what caused that?
Yes, it didn't rain for 6 months. And the missile, which originates from the Rhone, creates a very strong wind, and through self-ignition, the woods just went on fire.
Oh, it was not then carelessly started. It was actually...
No, not in this case.
Number 2, assuming you're an expert on forest fires, how many of the forest fires that we have today are caused by human carelessness? Careless campers and
I would say more than half.
Number 2, has your book, too, assuming that we at this moment do not know which is the real one, has your book, too, been chosen as the religious book of the year? I think number 1 put it that way.
Well, it received the award of the Hammarskjöld Award of 1973. And the presentation was made by the King of Belgium.
Presentation made by the King of Belgium, in case the bell covered up the words. And when we hear the bell, that means no more time for questions. We must mark our ballots, friends, if you will, and mark them for number 1, excuse me, or for number 2, or for number 3. And Betty has made a figure, and I'd like to know what it is and for whom and why.
It's not very well built, but he's either the greatest con artist or he's the best book salesman in the world, and I voted for number 1.
All righty, you got a 1 showing, and we're going down to Alan Ludden.
Well, number 1's interest in selling that book almost persuaded me, but I just can't see his being old enough to have lived through that concentration camp that many years ago. No reflection on the age of either one of the other 2 gentlemen, but I do think number 2 somehow strikes me as being the man who really has gone through all this.
You got a 1 and a 2. We must remember that many of the people in the camps were children.
Yes.
Peggy?
Well, I figured he could have been it easily because he could have been a child in the concentration camp, but Number 3 said the Mistral had dried up the forest. Oh, and number 1 said 50 miles behind Cannes, up in the hills. Well, then he'd be in the Alps. So I voted for number 3.
All right, and so we've got a 3 short. Everybody has got one. Bill Cullen, you're going to have to make up your mind, my friend.
I have to go along with Betty. I, too, think that man...
Why don't you vote first?
Okay. I'm going to go out with Betty, and in order to agree with look like Alan, I'm going to put my number upside down. It's hard to tell. No, I think it's number 1 because he was really interested in selling that book, and if it wasn't number 1, it should be.
Well, perhaps he's the publisher.
That's a very good thought. I hadn't had that myself.
However, we will find out. The votes are all in. Will the real Martin Gracer please stand up? Yep. But a good team of imposters. Excellent. Number 2, sir, tell us about yourself. What is your name? What do you do?
My name is Nicholas Ratz. I'm a travel agent associated with the House of Travel in New York City.
Good. Number 3, sir, you want to tell us about you?
My name is Lou Hess. I have a fishing tackle shop in Ocean Beach, Fire Islands.
Mr. Gray, I'd like to find out about the honor that your book received this year and to get some clarification. The name Dog Hammarskjöld came up. What was the award your book won?
Well, I received the 1973 Dag Hammarskjöld International Award. But I think if I was pushing the book, as you say, selling it, because I have a reason. You know, the royalties are not going to myself. I have devoted the foundation. But this is not even the reason that I want the royalties to receive. We don't even need the royalties because the French government now has subsidized our foundation. But I want the book to be read by most Americans because what the book is doing to every one of its readers. I know that my book has given many, many millions of people in this world hope and courage. And this is the reason of the success, I think. Not the millions sold, but what the book is doing for every individual. And I'll be very happy to share it with my fellow Americans, of which I'm very proud to be.
I plan to read it, sir. Thank you, Martin Gray, and thank you, gentlemen, very much for being here.
The password is chum.
Johnny? Buddy.
Pal.
Buddy.
Kid.
Buddy.
My.
Don't get stuck in a rut like Johnny. Watch Password weeknights 8:20 Eastern on Game Show Network.
Introducing Plus White Plus Peroxide Toothpaste. You'll get whiter teeth plus the benefits of peroxide. Plus White Plus Peroxide. There's no white like Plus White.
Want to go curly and add fullness to your hair? Now you can with Wash and Curl shampoo. Its curl enhancers work right in the shower. Your hair will look full and beautiful. Wash and Curl, the curling shampoo.
If you have wrinkles and puffiness under your eyes, I recommend Sudden Change Under Eye. Look, before sudden change and after. Sudden Change Under Eye.
One loan, one payment each month, and nothing more.
Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
If you're like most homeowners, you're paying a mortgage, several credit cards, and an auto loan each month. That's why the Money Store introduced the combo loan. With a combo loan from the Money Store, you can refinance your mortgage and consolidate your bills. You'll have one loan, one payment, and write just one check each month.
Plus, the interest can be tax deductible.
One loan, one payment with a combo loan from the Money Store. Call 1-800-LOAN-YES.
Introducing Love in the 90s. 36 great light rock hits by today's top artists.
The first time I look into your eyes, I cry. When can I see you again? Yeah. Here and now, I promise to love faithfully.
Love in the 90s. 36 of today's biggest hits on 2 cassettes or 2 CDs. Here's how to order.
Call toll-free 1-888-254-5858. That's 1-888-254-5858. Or send $19.98 for 2 cassettes or $26.98 for 2 CDs. Plus $4.95 shipping to Love in the 90s, P.O. Box 7373, Department N, Libertyville, Illinois, 60048.
Our
Central characters today will receive the Samsonite Classic 3 Attaché with the exclusive safety latch to eliminate accidental spilling. The Classic 3 Attaché from Samsonite. Promotional consideration provided by Best Western Motels, the nation's largest chain of 1,250 fine owner-operated motels in 900 cities throughout the United States, Canada, and Mexico. This is Bill Wendell speaking for To Tell the Truth, a Mark Goodson, Bill Chapman production.